we're going live again, and I'm going to check with YouTube and see how it looks. Let me go back here. Come on. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to bring it up on my screen. Oh, that looks much better, I think. All right. Let's get rid of this and go back to that. Okay, who is in the chat room? Nate, if you are still there, please let me know if it looks better than it did before, because it looks better to me. I double checked it. Thank you so much for checking into that. I apologize. You missed me pouring the beverage of choice, which this week was not Diet Coke, but it was a Diet Dr. Pepper, which had been dropped by a very special person by accident. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? It was Roman who was getting a Dr. Pepper out of the fridge and accidentally dropped it. Oopsie. So, look good to me. Where is he? He's somewhere in this room. Roman, where are you? There he is. Hello, Roman.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Now, whenever you want to do the special thing that you're going to do during this live stream tonight, I want you to go into the refrigerator downstairs and get that bottle. Okay? Oh, we're going to do it now. Okay. Diet Dr. Shasta tastes better than Diet Dr. Pepper. Ooh, I would be willing to try that. I mean, I tried the Summit Diet Cola from Aldi at the recommendation, the more or less a recommendation of Mikey Bananas from Grown Man Record Night. And it did not taste as good as Diet Coke, I'll tell you that much. But here is something that I purchased today, and we're going to try out here. Look at this. Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut Soda. Now, this is not the sugar, the no sugar formula. This is the regular one because I couldn't find a single bottle of this stuff. But a 12-pack of the no sugar Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut costs like $9. And I am not going to purchase a 12-pack of that only to taste one of them and want to puke my brains out because it tastes so horrible. But if I like it, I'll be very happy. But, you know, with new flavors of soda, you never know. Now, the one that I really liked a lot was the Dr. Pepper Strawberries and Cream No Sugar. I love that stuff. And every once in a while, I shell out the money to get it. So, all right. Here it is. And I'm here with Roman. We're going to pour some of this. Or better yet, come here. Get on camera, young man. Stand up. Come on.
I am standing up.
You are not standing up. You're 9 years old. You're up to about here now. Come on. There we go. All right. So, I want you to smell this and tell me what you think it smells like. All right. Go. What's it smell like?
It smells like a coconut popsicle that I didn't like.
A coconut popsicle. Okay. All right. Well, you don't have to drink this.
I want to try it.
But you at least have to taste it, okay? And then after you've tasted it, I'll say what your mom thought it tasted like. Now, it looks like regular good old Dr. Pepper here. But there is a definite coconut taste to it. What do you think? good, not good. What the heck is it?
Mid.
Mid? Okay. So it's not great, it's not horrible, but
Mid.
it's mid. Would you drink it again? If somebody said, "Oh, well, we got some pop for you here. Would you like some Dr. Pepper creamy coconut?"
I mean, I'd try it again.
And it says, "Or would you rather drink a regular Dr. Pepper?"
Dr. Pepper.
He'd rather have the regular Dr. Pepper. Okay. And yes, we do like Roman's shirt. It is a MTV shirt, which is very cool. I tried this afternoon just for a little for a moment here, but I'm going to taste it again to see if my tastes have changed at all. Ah. It tastes like the filling of a Mounds candy bar, which is rich in coconut. Roman's mom said that it tasted like coconut lip balm, or it tasted like suntan lotion. So it we're not crazy about it. We're not sad about it. Let's see. Shane, let's take a look at this here. He says, any thoughts on the newest Zappa release announcement? Well, most likely you are talking about the June 21st release of The Mothers at the Whiskey A Go Go 1968, which is a 5-record set, a 2-record set of highlights, or a 3 CD set of all the sets recorded on that night at the Whiskey A Go Go. My thoughts? I'm really looking forward to it because little bits and pieces of it have been released on Zappa Records throughout the past 50-some years, including the on Uncle Meat, which was the first Zappa album I heard back from front to back. The thing that's on here is Live at the Whiskey A Go Go. God Bless America, played on a kazoo. So that's interesting stuff. But what are you gonna do? It's coming out in June, and there's also going to be all sorts of other content about that that's going to be available for free online. Details coming in the next few weeks, but I can't really say anything else about that right now. But, good evening. As you know, my name is Bill. You're watching Bill's Box of Sound. This is our weekly Saturday night live stream where we go live and we broadcast throughout the world on YouTube and on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Bill's Box of Sound. So let me take a sip of my Diet Dr. Pepper. While Roman hangs out in here, watches his iPad. Thank you, G-Money. Appreciate it. Like your red image living stereo there. Okay. First of all, one thing that I'm trying to get to, I'm probably going to be making this video tomorrow, is I'm going to be making a video about some music that I received from the one, the only guy who watches this channel, and I watch his channel, Michael P. Dawson. He is a 21st century composer, also kind of like at the end of the 20th century as well. But he's a musician, he's a composer, He's an independent music maker, and he's got several albums available through Bandcamp. The most recent of which is this electronic composition called Hurtle Turtled Out of Heaven, which is kind of cool about a, I guess, sort of intergalactic turtle venturing towards Earth. I want to get him on the channel and do an interview with him, talk about the music that he's made and his compositional process, and also his musical journey through his life, because he's a pretty interesting guy. He also has a YouTube channel, which is called Michael P. Dawson. And here's another one of his records, which is called Paleozoic, which is called a fossil record, it says right here. And I've got good things to say about each and every one of these records. There's also a record called The Insect Garden, which is pretty chill and pretty neat. And then there is another record, which I gotta grab here. Sorry about the clunking noises. Where are we? Here we go. This one is called Rat's Alley by Michael P. Dawson. Hilarious cover because it's actually a mocked up cover of another release, which we talked about last week. So, very much looking forward to doing a video about that stuff. So, if you are new to this channel, this live stream, every week we come on. It's Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. And we talk about music, we talk about records, and we talk about all that other stuff. And you guys get to listen to me cough for about an hour. The coughing has increased in frequency lately because of spring and summer blooming, and pollen is everywhere. So, that's what we're going to do. Let's see here. Nathan says, Michael shows great music on his channel. Lots of prog. Yes, definitely. Michael is going to get me to spend more money. As if I have money to spend. All right. So, one thing that we talked about. Sorry about that. This microphone noise. Let's. You're going to hear microphone noise again right now. Oh, yeah. Don't you just love that microphone noise? We're going to pull out our record. Okay. The guy who is the main proponent of this band right here, Big Black, passed away this week. Steve Albini. He is the guitar player of this band, Big Black, as well as a band called Shellac. And he is also known, he's known as a producer, although if he was right here next to me, he'd say, don't call me a producer. I don't produce records, I record them. And that's pretty accurate. He owned a recording studio in Chicago. I forget the name of the studio, but basically, he would work with you if you paid him to record your record. And as a result, he did a lot of work. He recorded Urge Overkill, The Jesus Lizard, Scout Niblet. I already said Urge Overkill. PJ Harvey. A group on Wax Trax called Wreck. He recorded their albums. And these albums all say recorded by Steve Albini, not recorded by. And it was sad that that he passed away on March the, what was it here? March the 8th? No, March 7th, because I put out the video on the 8th. He had a heart attack at his studio and passed away. And strange thing is, he was not a known practitioner of drugs and or alcohol and or anything like that. To the best of our knowledge, he was not in ill health. He was only 61 years old, and he passed away. Very sad. And he was a really cool guy. He had a lot of very outspoken opinions about music, recording, in the music industry, record making. I want to bring to your attention a few podcasts he was on, and some of them, these are on YouTube. He was on the Caro Pop podcast. I think at, during the near the end of the pandemic, he had 2 episodes on that, and he was reviewed by Mark Caro. And also, once the news of his death came through, Nate Goyer of the Vinyl Guide, that's the name of the YouTube channel, The Vinyl Guide, he reposted an interview with Steve Albini that he had in there. And recently, like October 23rd of last year, he did an interview on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And that centered on, where is it? Here we go. That centered on the making of this album, which had a major anniversary recently. Nirvana's last studio album, In Utero, which this is the original version right here. And this is a remix that came out on Record Store Day back in 2013. There's like a 45 RPM remix and remaster, which is pretty interesting. But it doesn't say produced by Steve Albini on here. It says recorded by Steve Albini. He had a very, very strong opinion about that. He would not accept a contract where he claimed a percentage of the sales of the album, or what they call points. He says, "You're paying me to record this album, and here's my fee. You pay the fee, that's it. I'm done. Go off and have fun with your album." That's the way he worked. That was his business philosophy. It didn't make him a rich man, but man, he did a lot of work on a lot of different projects. That particular album right there, Nirvana's In Utero, was probably the most notorious and most popular thing he did. But back on the podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and there's also video of this if you search on YouTube. It was Conan O'Brien, Steve Albini, Dave Grohl, now of Foo Fighters, and Chris Novoselic talking about the making of that album, In Utero. And it was very, very cool. A lot of funny stories that came out of about that as well. So, Steve, we will miss you. Did a lot of cool stuff. Good evening in North Carolina, Vinyl Picker. Good to see you again. There was no Grown Man Record Night last night because Mikey Bananas is out at a huge rock festival, any band that is cool and is important. Just about almost any band. I mean, including Mr. Bungle, Primus, all them witches, bunch of different bands are playing at this festival out in California. He's out there enjoying that, and I believe he's going to be back on the air maybe Saturday night, tomorrow night, no, Sunday night, tomorrow night for what's usually his reshelving show. Either that, or he'll be back for the big show program on Friday night, which is 11 o'clock. But for those of you in the know, Grown Man Record Night starts at 8:30 p.m. on Friday nights on twitch.tv/Grown Man Record Night. He plays some records for a few hours, and at 11 o'clock, they shut it down and come back up and go on YouTube and Twitch at the same time and do their show. I really enjoy it. It's the best way to describe it is the show name, Grown Man Record Night. It's about records, and it's for grown men or anybody else who likes it. All right, more stuff to talk about. Uh, People have been bugging me to listen to Latter Day Residents music. I've tried. I don't like it. I like the old Residents stuff that before the year 2000. But last week, Thumpfinger and I forget who else, might have been Paul Ayers, said, hey, on Tubi, the Residents movie Triple Trouble is available to watch for free. So check it out. And I thought, ooh, nice. I heard about this movie and I was interested in seeing it and even more interested to see it for free. Now, if you don't know about it already, Tubi, Tubi, is a streaming service that you can access on your computer. You can access it on your smart TV, and it's free. It's ad supported, but you don't have to pay anything to watch the stuff on it. It's very, very cool. And hold on a second. I want to pull a couple of records out because I'm going to have to need these to explain what I'm going to be talking about in a second here. Let's see. I know it's nearby. Nope, not that. Not that. Not that. Is it here? There's just so many records. Ah, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, this movie, Triple Trouble, by the Residents. It's, hey, Spaghetti Lee, what's up? It's a movie that was written and directed by the Residents. And it's promoted as a comedy, music, horror movie. And that's about all they tell you about it. So you start watching it, and it's about this guy who starts talking, and you go into different parts of his life, and he's a plumber, and he's also a pastor, and he talks about things that are happening in his life, things that he's experiencing as a plumber. Like there's this white fungus that's coming out of the faucets that he's fixing and stuff like that. And then as he keeps on talking, he says that, well, you find out that his name is Randall Rose and that his dad was Randy Rose, who he says was the singer of the Residents, which, if you follow the Residents, you know that there was a while where the lead singer of the Residents went by the name of Randy Rose, which is a made up name because everything with the Residents is made up, including the facts that they tell you. Re- Residents is kind of a. Hold on a second here. Something just showed up in the chat room that I have to block because this guy's talking about, hey, I can promote your. Let's see. Let's go up here. No, I don't want to show that. I want to block it. How can I block this? How can I block this? Nope, I don't want. I don't want to show that. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. I want to block that. Well, I can't. So, please, please, please. Let's see. Yeah, please ignore any posts from this shocking Rock 5. But let's see what else we got here. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Let me get back to the Residence movie. So, as you go on, you're talking about this guy. He has a relationship with a girl that is not his girlfriend anymore. He talks about his mom who passed away, and he says that Randy Rose is dead, and Randy Rose appears to him in different ghost-like forms, and you're trying to figure out how all this stuff comes together, and all of a sudden they start really heavily drawing on the fact that the Residents did a film back in the early 70s called Vileness Fats. And this right here is the brilliant soundtrack album by the Residents called Whatever Happened to Vileness Fats. This was a movie that was shot on black and white videotape. And kind of hard to follow the story of this. But as things keep on progressing in this Triple Trouble movie, they start drawing more into the fact that the Residents made this movie, Vileness Fats, and what's going on with it, what's not going on with it, what happened, all the things that the Residents did way back, and who died and who's still alive, and things like that. And what it feels like to me after watching that movie is that they started writing this movie, which is kind of like going to be a murder mystery or a paranormal scary story. But eventually, they wrote themselves into a corner. And they decided, why don't we just fold this right back into Vileness Fats? So all of a sudden, you're hearing all this Vileness Fats music, and the end of the movie just has some weird effects and more Vileness Fats music, and the end. So, the best thing that I can say about the Residents Triple Trouble movie is that the music was pretty cool. Even though a lot of the music pulled from the original Vileness Fats soundtrack. So that is my review of the Residents movie Triple Trouble, which is now available to watch for free on Tubi, Tubi. So let's get to a couple of questions that was just asked. Let's see here, a Zappa question. Do you have the Warner Brothers Lost Leader compilations with the Zappa edits and the Zapped compilation? As a matter of fact, I do have the Zapped compilation. Let me see if I got it right here. I seem to remember having it nearby. Let me check here. I know it's here because I played it less than a couple of months ago. Come on, where is it? Uh, okay, it's not on that stack. Let's try this other stack. Oh, come on. It was just here quite recently. Still looking, still checking. Heavens to Murgatroyd. I got so many stacks of records here, it's ridiculous. Let's see, is it here? I don't think so. Wrong stack. All right. I've got somewhere in this room, and I'm trying to organize my records, but I do have the Zapped compilation. I also have the Warner Brothers Lost Leaders called The Big Ball, which has a whole side of stuff from the Zappa straight label, the Zappa Bizarre label and a straight label, as well as some others in Zappa stuff, all edited very, very, very cleverly. And yes, I do have that. That's kind of cool stuff. And another question here. In long form, let's say Spaghetti Lee says, remember the Residents offered a limited edition boxed set for $100,000? They only made one in the whole world, such a Residents move. Yeah, it was the Ultimate Residents boxed set, which was a refrigerator, which was stuffed with one of every single release the Residents ever put out. And it even included an original Residents eyeball head. That was pretty cool. And I guess that they had it for auction, or they said it was $100,000 or $100,000, and they only sold one of them. And I believe that it ended up being put in a museum. So that is pretty cool. Ugh. So that's that. What else we got to talk about this week? Okay. The Beatles movie Let It Be is on Disney Plus. Just started streaming. When was it? Friday. I haven't watched it yet. Although I have seen it before. And you remember that in the past year or so, there was that 6-7 hour extravaganza on Disney Plus called The Beatles Get Back, which is basically Peter Jackson and his crew completely went through all of the movies or the film that was shot for Get Back and made a new documentary, which is really, really well done. And they cleaned up all the footage really nice. I mean, it looked like it was shot yesterday, even though it was done over 50 years ago. And they followed all the details of going to Twickenham movie studios and trying to record an album, and then going to Savile Row and recording there, and ultimately ending up on the rooftop of the studio and playing a live concert out there. That was very cool. But The original movie that was made by Michael Lindsay Hogg, uh, called Let It Be, has been cleaned up and it is now available to watch on Disney Plus if you subscribe to it. I am going to watch it because I haven't seen it in a few years. It was available in a bootleg form on YouTube for a while, and when I watched it, I remembered that a lot of people were saying that it was a very negative movie, a very depressing movie, basically a portrait of how the Beatles broke up. And when I watched it, I didn't think that way at all. I thought it was very positive and a fun way of seeing how they recorded the music that ended up on the Let It Be album. And way back when it happened and I was experiencing all of it, I thought that the Let It Be was the last album they ever did because it came out after Abbey Road. But what happened was they did all this stuff before they did Abbey Road, and after they finished those sessions, did the rooftop concert, and went away. Within 2 months, they were back at Abbey Road recording the album that became Abbey Road, and also ended up being the name of the studio there because before that it was just known as EMI Studios, which was located on Abbey Road, but now it's Abbey Road Studios, and ended up being the monster hit album that it was and still is to this day. So now the world knows that Let It Be came first, Abbey Road was the last thing they ever did. They did it on purpose to show that, hey, we're going to end this on a high note. We're going to do this album, and that's it. So, very eye opening. And Chief Dancing Ostrich, hello, says you have Let It Be. Oh, might have gotten it on VHS or Laserdisc or Selectavision disc or beta cassette or whatever. And Paul Lopez does have the original VHS film, issued on magnetic video in 1981. Yeah, Mazzy was showing that the other day when he was talking about. And you know what? A lot of the Beatle faithful that do videos on YouTube, when the thing went on the air at like, what, 2 a.m. Eastern Time, people started watching it immediately. The next morning, people were saying, oh, I've already watched it 3 times. I mean, I love the Beatles, but man, twice in one night. Eh. All right. So, have I gotten any new records this week? Well, yes and no. I did get a record yesterday. I ordered it about a month and a half ago, and it came yesterday. And it's this one right here. It's not exactly a new album, a new release, but this is pretty cool. It's also flashing on the screen. It is the 2 record set First Rays of the New Rising Sun by the one, the only Jimi Hendrix. Now, I originally got this in 1997 on CD, back when it was released on the MCA label. At this point in time, um, at that time, 1997, all the Experience Hendrix stuff was coming out on the MCA label, all the Experience Hendrix stuff. And this was a remastered version of a bunch of songs that Jimi Hendrix had been working on at the time that he passed away. This was going to be the follow-up to Electric Ladyland. But there were 3 albums, and let me go get them. Excuse me, Roman. Gotta crawl around here to grab these. This one. And this one. Okay. Now, way back when, we're talking ancient history here. I mean, come on. Let It Be came out around 1970. And back in 1970 was when we lost Jimmy. And the first record that came out after he passed away was this one here called The Cry of Love. And at that time, the very young Mr. Camarada here was a Jimi Hendrix devotee. I picked up this record. I picked up this record, believe it or not, at the drugstore on the corner. They actually carried new albums back then, and I just dug into this album like it was nobody's business. This album, and I played this thing back to back many times. Had the songs "Freedom," "Drifting," "Easy Rider," "Nightbird Flying," and "My Friend Ended out side 1, side 2. Started with "Straight Ahead," then "Astro Man," "Angel," beautiful song, "In from the Storm," and "Belly Button Window" played. And I have proof that this album was very important to me because right here, that is 10-year-old me with a pair of headphones that I wired up listening to that very album. You know where this picture was taken? In your room. That used to be my room when I was little. Yeah. Mind blown, huh? So yeah, I dug Jimi Hendrix back then when I was 10 years old, when I was but a tot. And the other album that had a lot of the songs that ended up on First Rays of the New Rising Sun is this thing here, Rainbow Bridge. And there was a third album that I used to have, but for some reason I don't have it anymore, called War Heroes. So all of those albums, in one form or another, had all the 16 songs that are on this record here, The First Rays of the New Rising Sun. And if you're not familiar with this album, you need to check it out if you're a Hendrix fan, because amazing guitar playing, great songs, very entertaining. No real long songs. The longest song on here is 6 minutes long, which is "Hey Baby," which was the last song on the Rainbow Bridge soundtrack. But all the other songs are 5 minutes or less, and great tunes. And not only that, inside of the album is a kind of an extended remake of the booklet that was in here. Now, and by no means this is a new album, but it just got re-released on vinyl. The vinyl was mastered by good old Bernie Grunman, the master himself, and the records are pressed by Quality Record Pressings in Salina, Kansas. Thank you, Chad Kassam. And it's available from all regular online outlets. Should be available in your local record store. But when I purchased it on Amazon, it was less than $30. Let me just go on Amazon right now and see how much it goes for. Let's see. Amazon. Let's see. Okay. That album, whoa, price went up. It is now $42.53. Now, when I purchased it, it was like $28. I think. Let me go to my order history. Here we go. Orders. Let's see. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Can't see it. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Okay, let me just put it right here. It's not showing. All right, give me a second. I will bring it up. Let's see here. Here we go. Amazon receipt. Here we go. It doesn't show. But I swear, I paid less than $30 for this, and now it's up to $40. But it's still worth it. Listened to it last night. The sound is amazing. Hey, Thumbfinger. Hey, DJ Trish. Hello. So, very nice. But yeah, I very, very highly recommend this album if you don't have it already. Once again, Jimi Hendrix, First Rays of the New Rising Sun. Okay, so if you wanna take off and go back upstairs, you're allowed, Roman. I appreciate you being down here, though. Roman's here. He's just down here. Say hello to the people, Roman.
Hello.
Say louder.
Hello.
There you go. Got to get some more of this stuff. So, for a lot of you folks in the United States, mostly in the northern states all the way across, the northern lights were visible last night. And if you don't have a lot of cloud cover in your area, you're going to be able to see it again tonight. I couldn't see it last night because there's a lot of trees on our street. And last night at midnight, I walked all the way up and down the street, couldn't get a clear view of the sky to see the northern lights. But if you can see them, and you should be able to see them again tonight, they are quite beautiful. I don't know, I may go take a ride to an area where I can see more of the horizon and maybe take some pictures of that. Stuff like that, stuff like the eclipse, very, very cool. So, you can't see it in New York City. Ah, crud. Oh, well. What can I say? And DJ Trish says hi.
Tell her I said hi.
DJ Trish. Roman says hi. He's hanging out down here watching his iPad. So, that's about all the new stuff that is going down lately. Had a great day today. Cooked up a bunch of food on the grill. Cooked hamburgers, some Italian sausage, and hot dogs. And we also cooked up a bunch of tater tots. Had a great dinner. Couldn't be beat. What?
I love tater tots.
I know. Those tater tots were good, too. So that is what's going on. And we also got to hang out with Roman at his school. There was an ice cream social at his school. Got to hang out with him and all of his friends and their parents and everything. So that was a lot of fun. Got to meet his teacher. And let's see. That's about it. If anybody got any questions, or does anybody want to come up on the screen and yak for a couple minutes? All right. Oh, wait a second. Nope. Sorry. we only have a few more minutes to do this because it's almost 11 o'clock. So I want to thank deeply Nate Bouchard and Spaghetti Lee for letting me know about the horrible video quality at the beginning. I've reported that to a StreamYard, and I appreciate that. So we could stop down, come back up, and have a decent looking show for you. Next week we'll have more music news. I promise. More stuff, and this week I am going to publish a review of the Michael P. Dawson records that I received, which are really cool and interesting, but I want to talk about them and my feelings on these records, because each one of them is different, and listening to them the second time around gave me a different feeling on them, a different take on them, and I like them a lot more the second time around. So these are not records you can't listen to them and brush them aside. So that's cool. So all right, folks, it is about 11 o'clock. If you like this video right now, hit that like button. Hit the like button right down there. If you are not a subscriber, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate you coming by and watching tonight. We got 22 people here. That is awesome. So I will see you again next week. Oh, wait. There is a small possibility we might not have a show next week because we're doing some major work down in the basement next week. So I don't know if we'll be here, but I plan to be on live at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. on Pacific time. So good to see you all. I appreciate you, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Stay tuned for your local news, except on the West Coast. Had a great time. Hope you did too. Keep on listening to music. Be kind to each other and all that other fun stuff. And I'm going to start that music back up that we were playing before. So, thanks everybody. We will see you next time. Let's turn on some weird lights. What do you say? Here we go. It's party time with the lights. Party time with the lights. All right. Good night, folks. Catch you later. You thumb finger.